Hello YouTube, this is Gora Radio Moscow here again with another beer review. I fancied another one before I went to bed, so I thought, why not? This is Chang, which comes from Thailand. I've not done an Asian beer in quite a while, so I thought this one would actually be quite a good one to choose. Now, Chang is the Thai word for elephant, which are very culturally significant animals within Thailand. I think the idea behind this was basically make something that sticks in the minds of the people, so they used elephants, the word Chang, for the beer name. It's quite clever marketing strategy actually. But this beer is fairly new. It only started production in 1995, and the brewery is based in Bang Ban in the Ayutthaya province within Thailand. It's the top selling beer in Thailand. Incidentally, it's one of two that we get on export in here in Scotland from Thailand, the other being Singha, which is recognisable because of its white label and the golden dragon on it. It's actually a nice beer as well. I'll see if I can get a hold of a bottle of that to review for you. But anyway, this beer went under quite a market struggle with Singha at the time when it came out, and I believe they managed to corner 60% of the domestic Thai beer market, which is quite good going. But they're also well known in Scotland, or in Britain rather, for sponsoring Everton Football Club from Liverpool in the English Premier League. I think they've sponsored them since the 2004-2005 season, so a little under 10 years just of sponsorship of that club. But they also actually put in some, there was a fund set up by Everton and Chang to help the relief effort after the tsunami in Asia that affected Thailand a couple of years ago. So they've done, it's actually quite a nice sponsorship between Chang and Everton. But anyway, the beer is brewed by the Thai Beverage Public Company, who also produce Mekong and Sang Som rum. They've got significant brewing operations within Europe, and they produce various spirits: malt Scotch whisky, vodka, gin, various liqueurs. But they've got over 20 different distilleries, and some of these are located within Scotland, France, Poland and Ireland. But in 2013, earlier this year, they added the Fraser and Neave Company, which is a big food and beverage company from Singapore, and they added that to their inventory earlier this year, so they're constantly expanding. This is a very, very big company, this one. But in 2004 they started producing the Archer beer, which is a 5.4 ABV lager, and this won a gold medal in the 2007 Australian International Beer Awards, so that must be quite a nice beer. I'll see if I can get a hold of that at some stage as well. But in 2006 they followed up by the launch of Chang Light, which I believe is a low carb variant of this beer with 4.2% ABV, and then they also introduced Chang Draft in bottles, which is a 5% ABV. Now there's two different versions of this beer. This one is the export beer, which is a 100% malt beer, and it has a 5.0% ABV, but they also do, the one on the domestic market in Thailand is a 6.4% beer that is brewed with rice. But anyway, I'll just let you have a little look at the bottle and the cap of this one. It's actually got quite a nice, it's actually quite a pretty bottle, this one, I would say. It's got the nice little elephants and the little tree on it there. As you can see, it has this little foil bit at the top. The bottle cap on this one's actually quite nice. As you can see, the little elephants on it there. I'm not sure how well that's focusing, but anyway, there's actually a bit of an interesting story behind the label of this beer, and it's quite uncommon that you find that. But back in 2000, Carlsberg and Chang teamed up, and they wanted to create a 50-50 venture to create the Carlsberg Asia Brewery, just basically make a massive brewery within Asia that could kind of corner the market. But Carlsberg pulled out in 2005 of this venture, and Chang basically wanted to sue them for about $2.5 billion to recoup the damages that this cost, but they only got something like $125 million from it. But you can see in the influence that Carlsberg had on the label here with the green and white colouring. But anyway, let's just get on to the taste of this beer. Now, the style of this one, it's a 5.2% adjunct lager, which basically I would more likely call this an industrial beer. Quite like that term for these sort of things. But this is a mass-produced beer. They don't often kind of have that much of a taste, but anyway, we'll give it a try and see what it's like. As you can see, it's a very kind of pale straw colour, this one, as is kind of the case with quite a few of the adjunct beers. There's a little bit of head on this one. It's quite a bubbly one, but it's faded kind of almost instantly there, but I didn't give it very much of an aggressive pour there. It's almost complete, it's basically completely gone. There's no layer to it at all, but as you can see, it's kind of crystal clear, a very sort of pale golden colour. There's maybe a teeny tiny bit of haziness, but it's very, very clear, I'd say, overall. Get a little smell of it. It's actually got a very sweet, corny smell. There's maybe just a little bit of wheat in there. Actually, it smells like a typical industrial beer. You know, it's kind of getting some grassy hops in there, a little bit of wheat. It's actually got it's got a really, really strong corn smell to it, I'd say. There's nothing much more of note there. Very strong corn smell. Let's give it a taste. It's actually okay. It's quite there's quite a bit of sweetness in there. A lot of corn, yeah. Mainly corn. I'm picking up a little bit of grassiness. It's actually quite a bland flavoured beer. It's kind of watery. But yeah, a lot of corn. There's a little bit of sweetness in there. You can get the grassiness from the hops as well. There's not really much of a hop taste. It's a very, on the mouth, there is a fair little bit of carbonation. It's a very, very light bodied beer. Like I say, it's actually quite bland in taste, to be honest. There's a nice corn element to it, but other than that, it's quite bland. There's very little in the aftertaste, I have to say. On the mouth, very light, very crisp, kind of. There's actually a fair little, there's a bit more carbonation than just looking at it would lead you to believe. It's a very, very drinkable beer. It's actually, it's quite refreshing, to be honest. I mean, I can see in the scorching heat of Thailand, this would be a good thing to kind of sit down and drink away on. But yeah, with this one, quite a corny taste, little bit of grassiness, very light, very crisp, quite a refreshing beer overall. A very drinkable one. I can see the kind of why this would be a good style for Thailand itself. Overall, it has a bit more. It has quite a bit more flavour in the front than it does in the aftertaste. There's actually pretty much a nil aftertaste. Really, not very much at all. To be fair, I'd be interested to. It's out of the industrial beers I've had. It's okay. It's kind of quite. It's quite nice because of the corny element to it. I quite like that about it. It's very light, it's very drinkable. It's not really memorable, I have to say. I'd be interested to try the Chang domestic one brewed with the rice. I've actually heard that that's a very, very good beer from my friend who visited Thailand, so I'll need to look into that one. In terms of drinking it in the UK, I would personally choose Singhal over this one, but that's just me. I'll try and get a bottle of that to review for you. Maybe I can do a comparison video in these ones. But once again, thanks for watching my videos. I'll be back with another beer review tomorrow, I believe. I think I'll be going for an Argentine beer this time. But thanks again for watching my beer reviews. Please like, subscribe, share the videos, all of that kind of thing. I'll be back soon, so thanks for watching. Cheers.